Manchester United beat Southampton 3-0 in the early kickoff. My God, did Manchester United need that win? Did Ten Hag need that win? A win that might not have been. Everything changed off that penalty save from Andre ONANA. And I have to start with Andre ONANA's save. I really do, because I've been slaughtering him this week. I publicly said he's not good enough. I still don't think ONANA is good enough. Whether or not he can prove me wrong through the rest of this season, I don't know. We will see. We will see. But Andre ONANA turned that game on its head. I cannot deny it. And he deserves massive credit for it. He made a double save off it. So he not only saves the penalty, then gets back on his feet and saves the rebound, which comes straight back in and what would have gone in as well. And that literally turned the game on its head, because the first 30 minutes of that game was Manchester United of all of this season. It was lethargic. It was a team that didn't know what they were doing. The plan looked like it was something that was made up and drawn up in a nursery. The players were all over the place. Individual performances were shocking in Kobe Mainu, in Dalot, giving away that penalty and a few other mistakes, miscommunication in the back line, and midfield battles that just weren't being won. Manchester United were outfought by Southampton in the early stages of that game. And you know what? If it weren't for ONANA with a couple of saves even before that penalty, Manchester United could have been looking down the barrel of a 2-0 deficit before United even kicked into gear. A big decision by Ten Hag at the start of the game. Who plays, Casemiro or Agate? Well, he picks Eriksen to play in that role, where he's not played for a year. And to be honest, Eriksen in the first half an hour, like every other player, looked completely all at sea and didn't know what they were doing. Goals and moments change games. A penalty save moment backed up 2 minutes later with a goal for a debutant, well, not a debutant, but a new player as well, scoring his first goal for United, completely flips that on its head, and everything looks completely rosy. Everything looks fantastic for Manchester United. It looks like the plan is working. It looks like Ten Hag is the man. It looks like everyone is on board. But it literally is because Manchester United scored the first goal. We cannot forget that. We cannot get away from the fact that while it was 0-0, and if that penalty goes in, that game is completely different. It's a different ball game altogether. We would have seen the players usually reacting the same way, or might have we? It would have been the big question. Like, I cannot say that United would have melted like they did against Liverpool, but whenever United go behind, we always struggle. If United go in front, the plan works. It always has done for Ten Hag. We very rarely struggle like we have done and what has been obvious in the past under Ten Hag when we go in front. And getting that goal from De Ligt in the first half and then backing that up with a second goal, which United do not do. United look like a decent team. They do. Let's not forget, you can only beat who's in front of you in football. And Southampton are absolutely shit. They are going right back down to the Championship. They stand absolutely no chance there. Manchester United were poor. They couldn't take advantage. They missed that penalty. And from that moment, they just turned into a championship, an average championship side. They lived off the moments of the crowd being back in the Prem, playing United at home again at St Mary's. And everyone was up for it. As soon as United scored, Southampton disappeared off the planet. And that was it. It was game over. It really was. And individual performances started to go up a little bit. Martinez, who was shaky alongside Dalot in that first half hour. I'm not going to hide away from naming out the big guns. Bruno's decision-making was off. But then, again, Bruno has that moment. He has always got that moment. And Ten Hag plays the likes of Rashford and Bruno Fernandes because they can change games on the head like they did there today. Bruno Fernandes from the corner pings in an absolute worldie of a cross, which is just there to be headed in. Absolute perfection. And De Ligt scores the goal. It changes it. Marcus Rashford scores from outside the box, which Rashford does. And Ten Hag will go into his conference and say, look, this is why we keep playing Rashford. He'll score one goal and then he'll be flying. He said them exact words before the game. We've just waited 3 games this season to get to this stage, and we've waited the whole back of last season for that moment. You cannot live on moments. And while we're celebrating a very comfortable, much-needed win today, we cannot forget that Southampton are poor. And on other days, Manchester United might have been looking at scraping a draw in that game if that penalty goes in. It didn't. So we're not going to be talking about that. But what you need to remember is the Ten Hag plan is if Bruno or Rashford have one of them moments, which they both did today, United turn up. If they don't, we haven't got another plan. And today it worked. And it worked against the poor Southampton side. And we cannot forget that. Like I keep saying, Manchester United will definitely struggle in more games coming up this season. We know it. The good thing, and what I want to take away from that game was, in the second half, United just kept the ball. Complete control of the game. Yeah, I wanted a bit more cutthroatness. And to see, when do we ever see Manchester United on the right end of a 3-0 win? That goal from Garnacho at the end just calmed everything down. It made me feel great. It probably gave the away fans something to just walk home with. Walking away from Southampton with a 3-0 win is absolutely brilliant. And we couldn't have asked for much more result-wise. We could have been a bit more clinical. Yes, a few players like Xerxes should have scored. Ahmad should have scored. We could have had a couple, to be honest, more in that second half if we actually had our wits about us. I just want us to go out there and kill a side off instead of having that nervous sort of Manchester United moment. Do you know what I mean by that? That's what's in the way, and that's the only thing that I've got to take away from that as a negative. Obviously, apart from the first 30 minutes where United were atrocious. They really were shit. And that's what we need to get rid of. It's all right. We're celebrating a good win here today. It really is a good win for United. And like I said, it looks great when you're winning and you can play well because you've got the confidence of goals behind you. We need to see performances like that when it's still 0-0. Still sticking to our game and playing that way that we did when we were 2-0 up. That's what we don't have at United, and that's what needs to come next. On to Barnsley on Tuesday. I think we'll win that. Then that's 2 wins in a row. And then a crunch game Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening against Crystal Palace. That's going to be tough. If we can win that, then Ten Hag has turned a mini corner, and he's definitely going to survive the next international break, no matter what happens in the next 4 games after that. I think that was enough. But 3 points today is all that matters. We got it, and we go marching on. Get your comments in below, everybody. Let me know what you think. Who was your man of the match today? I agreed with the people who gave Matthias de Ligt the man of the match. He was mine. Let me know what you think. Get your comments in below. Is that papering over cracks, or have we turned a corner? Cheers for watching, everyone.